I can't find mine.
All right, you are live.
Okay. Education Commission regular meeting and notice for April 27th, 6 p.m. Can we start with roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Suzanne Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Nicole Moore.
Yes.
Commissioner Olivia Robledo.
Here.
Vice Chair David Govea. Chair Angel Zobel Rodriguez.
Present. Oh, nobody sent Eduardo the link to the meeting.
It's on the, it's okay. Let me just mute myself.
On the
Okay.
agenda is not valid. I tried. Sorry.
Okay. All right, let's get Eduardo in here. David, did you want to do the Pledge of Allegiance so we're moving forward?
Yeah, we can move forward with that. I don't have a
There's a lot
flag.
of silence. Okay, well, we're going to imagine there's a flag because I don't have mine either. So we're gonna use our imaginations tonight.
Okay, all right. Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Julia, were you able to provide Eduardo with the link?
Yes, and let me see if he's
Coming.
I don't see that he is as of
Okay.
now logged in, so we may, well, okay, there he is,
Okay, awesome.
admitting.
Should we move to approve the agenda?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that while Eduardo sits up. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Thank you, Olivia. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of approval of the agenda for this evening?
Aye.
It's roll call, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're ready to get into the meat.
We go from meeting to meeting and it's done differently. In
Commissioner
every
Yamas,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Robledo,
Yes.
Vice Chair Govea,
yes.
and Chair Zobel Rodriguez.
That's okay. Yes, just her, that one, it'll work. All right, first off this evening, presentation by Los Angeles Unified District Community of Schools Administrator. I think I got all that right. I cut and paste from the website. Eduardo Solorzano to provide an update on COVID-19 related matters and the return to campus.
So good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So good to see kids in school. Believe me, it's been the best 2 weeks. So it's starting on the 12th. So just want to share some highlights of my last couple of weeks, and then just to give a little bit more information on where we are as we prepare for the rest of the year. So smooth opening at every one of our schools. I had the opportunity to visit San Fernando Elementary, Morningside, O'Melveny, our middle schools. I was at the Chavez sites today, and there's a variety of numbers, right? Some of our elementary schools classes, we range from 6 in the lowest class that I saw up to 14 in the highest in our schools. So
Wow.
that's yeah, 14 that's almost a full class. So it's really good to see 14 kids in the class. It was good to bump elbows with the kids, just seeing them excited coming back. And I asked, what's better, sitting at home on Zoom or coming in the classroom with your peers? And by far, all the kids give you a big thumbs up and their smiles and whatnot. So it was really, really good to see. The Secondary schools, we don't have quite as many students. I think it's just the nature. What I shared last time, I was able to share with you. The students meet with their advisory teacher in the morning, and then from there, they Zoom with the other classes and the other teachers for the rest of the day. And so at the Chavez site today, we had classes with, very, very few students, but we're hoping, just like what we're seeing in elementary, as more students find out that the kids are actually liking being in person, that more families will opt to trade and swap from online to the in-person version. So as long as there's space in the class, we're asking that the schools to accommodate any parent who says, I want to go from fully remote to the hybrid version without violating the small cohorts. So as long as we can do that, we're going to continue to do that. The other great thing that we are committed to and we've been able to provide is every family that says, I want to participate in Beyond the Bell, we are doing everything we can to honor that request. And so if you hear of any schools that have a waiting list for Beyond the Bell, please do let us know, let the local district know so that we can advocate to get additional support for those schools. Okay, the majority of our students, happily surprised and happily to report that one of the concerns we had was how many of our kids are going to be bringing in the daily pass, and can they come with a screenshot, or can they come with a hard copy? I'm going to tell you, those kids have those daily passes, whether they have it on their own device, on their phones, or the hard copies, and they are screening them so quickly that they can get into the school and be in the classroom in no time. We were able to provide support at the schools in case the families had challenges with the daily pass. So we asked that they set up a station on the first day that the school opened for each of the grade levels, and the families can come to that table and be walked through the process on how to get it. I think all of that paid off because that's why we have so many of our students with the daily pass. So that's a great thing. Another great piece of news, that the families no longer have to go to a COVID testing site to get tested. Starting this week, every single student will be tested and every single staff member will be tested at their school site.
Okay.
We have mobile teams going, so there is no need for a family to go to San Fernando Middle School or Tacoma Middle School or any of our other schools that we're serving as testing sites. Now, they may not necessarily be tested every week, but as we are entering the less dangerous tiers in the COVID-19 spread, we're able to extend the testing windows. But rest assured, every single student has access to it at the school site. All we ask is for every family to sign the consent. Anybody who tested through our sites for their baseline test, we automatically got their consent at that time. And then any family who doesn't, we now have hard copies of that consent form at every school. So I was at a school this morning where the principal was passing them out, every single parent that was there, just to make sure that we have those consent forms on file so that we can test the students without the parents present. That's what the consent is for. And then update on Culmination graduation. Great news that we're able to do in-person Culmination graduation ceremonies following the public health safety protocols. So for right now, it's being outdoors. There may be a limited number of participants and whatnot. So that is great news. I watched last month's meeting. I know that some of our students were awarded scholarships. And if there's anything we can do to bring those students together at an outdoor event, I'm happy to support and help coordinate some of that work. And so the last piece, we've closed the grab and go centers, but schools do have community feed. So every school has a different schedule of when they open. And so for the students that are fully remote, the families can come and get the meals for those students at the closest school to them. They don't even have to go to the school that they're enrolled in. So I think those are all good news in a much better place. We thought we were closing for 2 weeks. We closed for 14 months. But believe me, it feels so good to have kids back in the classroom. So any questions?
No,
Any questions?
no, just think, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Olivia.
So I know that the elementary schools, the students are in school for 3 hours, correct?
Correct.
And then secondary, I'm not quite sure how long they are in person.
So
at the school.
let me go over the elementary program and then the secondary program. So in elementary, while they may be in person for 3 hours, they actually get a full day of instruction because they do have to go home and do the distant and independent work. So that piece is done. If they participate in Beyond the Bell, then obviously the Beyond the Bell supervision program, they can help them with those independent work that they have to do. In secondary, it's a little bit different. The students come 2 days a week and then alternating Mondays at the majority of our schools. And I say majority of our schools because the Chavez schools, we have 3 schools that have scheduling autonomy because they're pilot schools. And so they were able to move their alternating Mondays to be alternating Fridays. And that's when they do their professional development. So in secondary, the students are in school all day. They come in, they do their morning advisory, and then they go to the couple of classes. Obviously, when I say go to, it's all virtual from their advisory setting. They participate in their first couple of classes, then they have lunch, and then they do another class in the afternoon. Most of the schools have a 70-minute period for each of those classes. And then at the end of that, the students still do have to do some asynchronous work as well, some independent work. So all of our students are getting a full day of instruction. It just looks differently. Most of our schools have the 3 cohorts, which we call for hybrid. Cohort H can come, for instance, Tuesday and Thursday. Cohort L comes, and those are the official names we gave them in our system. Cohort L comes on Wednesday and Friday, and then the Mondays are the alternating Mondays for professional development. And that's how they follow that. So over a course of 2 weeks, every single student is getting 5 days of instruction.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. Eduardo, thank you for this update. This is the kind of update after a year that we are very optimistic. I did hear you say that you were willing to help, and the scholarship event is later on the agenda. So expect a phone call because we will definitely take you up on all the hands.
So while I can log off from the Zoom, just know that I follow you on the YouTube video.
And we appreciate that as well.
And so I will hear what the need is. And so Angel, let's connect tomorrow.
Okay.
And let me know how I can support and how the local district can support with that.
All right, yeah, we have 12 winners, which we will be talking about later in the agenda, and we are really excited to celebrate them in whatever way we can do safely. So yeah, exactly. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Julia, do we have to read the decorum?
You can just state that the decorum and order is present on the agenda.
Yes, the decorum and order is present on the agenda. Public statements, written oral?
There are no written public statements, and there are no callers waiting in the waiting room, so no public statements this evening.
Awesome, okay. We love public statements, but we also like moving forward, and we've got lots to do today. Administrative reports. Last month, there was a discussion to put this on the agenda, discussion and consideration to form an O'Melveny ad hoc committee. Nicole, did you mention that?
Yes. So
Okay.
there is the principal from O'Melveny Elementary School has contacted me and asked that we would be willing to support with their 100-year celebration. I will read you his statement. Said, "It would be an honor to have you participate in our planning to recognize our service to the community and achievements. O'Melveny was established in 1922 as quaint little bungalows adorned Woodworth Street. We anticipate starting to meet sometime in the next year. I wanted to reach out so we could begin the process." So I don't know if it's something that necessarily requires an ad hoc or if one person wants to take it on, but I know that we can't all of us meet with him to plan unless it is a small 2-person ad hoc or something like that. So yeah, I think he is just looking for, hopefully we could maybe get some certificates or ways that we could celebrate with them on our social media, perhaps see if we can get some of our wonderful city council members to attend whatever events they hold.
Okay,
And
does anybody,
he's a friend of the commission as well. We've invited him to speak before, and he actually showed the programs that he has at Untitled, and he's a great guy. And I think definitely, you know, let's work with him and see how we can support in any way that we can. Yeah, I don't know if that requires an ad hoc necessarily, just because it's so early in the planning process. Maybe just kind of see where they're at, and as some kind of rubber hits the road, work needs to be done. Maybe we can create it then. What do you guys think?
I definitely think that it's something to celebrate. You know, historical architecture is kind of my thing, and any history, when people say LA, California doesn't have any history, I'm like, we do. You just don't. You have to look a little harder. If it doesn't feel like we need to necessarily address an ad hoc at this point, let's kind of keep it, you know, Nicole, when you feel that it needs to come back on the agenda, if it's sometime in 2021 or early 2022, then I think we probably can kind of let it simmer for a little bit, but I don't see any reason why we could not support it and be the liaison between the school and the council.
I don't mind continuing to be the go-between, but I wanted to make sure it was on our radar, so I agendized it just so that we could have a discussion about it. I'm hoping that we can perhaps ask city council to maybe do a certificate of recognition around whenever their anniversaries is. I'm not exactly sure what month they'll be celebrating it, but it would be next year. So I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar.
Does anybody have any other comments?
Are we going to send a formal, we accept being part of that planning committee? Because, yeah.
That works.
Does that need a motion, or we're fine?
Do either one of you commissioners want to, on your own, be part of the planning committee or their planning committee? Or because at this point, I'm not sure that we're able to just be part of their planning committee because you're representing the city.
I don't mind being the liaison for now, and that doesn't require.
And when it gets a little bit more meat and potatoes, then we can. I think that seems valid if you're comfortable with that.
Yes. So, yeah, I will let them know that I'm here to be of service, and I'll try to set up a meeting sometime with him in the near future to hear what he has in mind.
Very much appreciated.
So
Also, 100 years is very cool. 100 years is very cool.
I admire what you do. I admire what you do, Nicole. I know you always have so much on your plate, and you just keep on adding more and more. And I know it comes from a place of love and commitment to the city. So just on behalf of everything that you do, I want to thank you, just because I know you're working really hard on everything. So.
It's been a little bit of a crazy month, but at least this is next year, and hopefully the world will be better next year.
And if you do need to tag team, let us know at a future meeting, and we can make it work. We don't want to make anybody overworked.
All good.
Okay, number 2 then is discussion and selection of student of the month for May 2021.
All right, so we have our 2 winners. So I'm going to introduce you guys to our final academic year 2020-2021 San Fernando Student of the Month. This is for the month of May. Our focus for this time around was academic achievement. And the way that looked is not only students who perform well academically, but also those who are continually getting better and have improved. And so for our middle school, we actually have a student from Nueva Esperanza. Her name is Tanya, and she was actually nominated twice, one by a TA and one by her English teacher. So it kind of stood out, and we really liked the story. We thought it was a student that definitely deserves recognition. So I'll read one of them from Tanya. This is from her 8th grade teacher. Tanya is a magnificent student. She is constantly going above and beyond in any class she's in. She will go to tutoring sessions without the need to do so. for having classes online. She makes the best of the situations, indulges in conversations with her peers, aren't doing the same. Her level of comprehension exceeds a student at her level. She asks amazing questions, even ones that haven't been accounted for. She constantly makes sure to meet the standard for the lesson, is not afraid to take charge when needed. And the TA kind of added to that and talked about overcoming challenges and just striving to always do better and be a great achiever. So I definitely think that sounds like a student that deserves recognition and probably one that'll find a lot of value in being acknowledged in front of the council. So we can approve her right now, or we can hear both and do it at the same time.
Let's hear both.
Okay. The next student, so this student has been making an impact here in our commission. This is a senior at Social Justice Humanitas, and this student was actually nominated last month, and we didn't accept them, but he got it this time. So his name is Marco. Marco is an outstanding student leader. He truly is a humanitarian at heart. Will go above and beyond to help his community for the last 4 years. He's been a mentor, tutor, student body member. In his own words, being a mentor and the mentor program in general is important to me because the program as a whole is a great way to allow students to support one another, and it creates a sense of family. He's a 4.0 student. He will be attending Harvard University in the fall. And
David,
one of our local kids.
Talk slower. Talk slower.
Okay.
No, you kind of glossed right over the exciting part.
Yeah, no, he's a 4.0 student, and one of our local kids will be a Harvard student this fall. So, yeah, you know, we like to honor these kids. So I think definitely academic achievement, right? If you got admission to Harvard University, falls within that category. So yeah, I would like to put a motion forward to accept Tanya and Marco as our May San Fernando Student of the Month recipients.
I can second that.
All right, Commissioner Yama,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Robledo,
Yes.
Vice Chair Govea,
Yes.
Chair Zobo Rodriguez.
Yes. Yeah, I knew where the punchline was in that, David, but I wanted to make sure that didn't get glossed over as in a Zoom beat.
Well, yeah, it's when you're a Zoom instructor, I'm sure Nicole kind of relates. There's a lot of things you got to go over, and so it's a certain kind of tone and a pace that you keep almost continuously. So you guys got a little snapshot of what it's like to be in
Tugged at my
classroom.
heartstrings last month too, and I felt really good about who we chose last month. But yay!
Yeah, it's super cool. So I will be there. I'm excited to honor our students, and I will set up the prizes and.
I have the prizes. I have to get them to you.
So I will work with.
Would this
Commissioner
be
Moore.
May 17th?
Let's see here, I believe so.
I think that's my last day of classes. So it's like May 3rd, May 10th, May 17th are the Mondays. So I'm assuming May 17th.
It will be May 17th. Are there any issues with that day, Julia?
That should be okay. We have been asked to keep that council meeting light because it is a budget session, and council will be focusing on budget. But I really don't see a problem of having a nice presentation before they get serious.
Got it. And I do want to appreciate Commissioner Yamas for presenting this last week for our recipients. You did an excellent job in setting it up, communication, not only prior, but also showing gratitude towards council for the acknowledgement. So thank you, Commissioner. Do you want to kind of give any insight or thoughts on, as a first timer to
Just a couple of thoughts for being a first timer. Yeah. I enjoyed the possibility of doing this just to help our commission. And I really appreciated, Commissioner Govea, the way you helped me, the way you showed me, okay, this is what's done. This is the communication that's done. So that helped me lead my path as to communication between the teachers and the parents. And Ms. Julia, thank you so much for helping me also with getting the specifics of the logistics done. Thank you very much. I was really grateful for this experience because I felt the love and the care between the teachers and the students. And I was totally impressed with the way I felt that the students and the parents received the council messages, their individual council messages. That really was the item that took my heart for who we are as council volunteers or employees, because it was shown that they really care about the community. So thank you, Commissioner Govea, for that experience.
And next meeting, we'll bring it on the agenda as well, and maybe discuss logistics. We'll think about how it worked and how it may work in the future, because it looks like things are kind of shifting a little bit in terms of, public and, attending things. And so we'll kind of see where we're at there, but great. I'm glad we close that out.
Okay, anybody else? Any other questions on Student of the Month?
I do have the remaining gift cards for Hortateria. So I somehow didn't even realize that I had the money to purchase them in the bottom of an envelope, but I found it when I had picked up the certificates for the March winners. So I have that. I will connect with Commissioner Govea, Vice Chair Govea, to get you the 2 for this month, and I'll give the rest to Julia for future months as well. Sorry about that. I did wait for March. By the time we awarded March, I knew that the kids were coming back in April. And so I connected with their teachers and arranged to get it to them on their first day back. And so that was kind of cool that all but one of them came back. One of them is a CCLA student. So February and March's winners got theirs on the first day back. And it was really cool. And I did get to see what the first day back was like at San Fernando Elementary and Morningside Elementary. And also, and they were just very excited. And I think the principal is the one who I handed it to. No, not the principal. I can't remember. I handed it to an administrator at San Fernando Elementary, and she was just glowing and so excited. She's like, I'm gonna go run down to her class right now. So it was really exciting to see the first day back and be able to be like, here's an award for your first day back. So, yeah.
Thank you for doing the delivery. It's important for them to get recognized, and we love the Zoom into the council meetings, but it's also important for them to be recognized in front of their peers and in front of their people. Any other questions? Any other comments on Student of the Month? Suzanne?
Yes, I just want to also mention Commissioner Moore and Commissioner Govea. You did an excellent job of selecting the award winners, because our hearts were just melting for our kids, our students, and what they had to experience and the resiliency that they showed and the perseverance that they showed. So thank you for doing a right-on selection. Thank you.
Okay, ready for the meat and potatoes for tonight. Discussion and consideration of the 2020-2021 Scholarship Awards event and related matters. Julia, do you want me to start?
You can start, or I can start. I want to make sure that the correspondence that I emailed earlier, everybody was able to open and had a quick chance to review.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving forward with the scholarship. I was able to, it took a few days to get into the email because apparently the city had a little bit of difficulty with the emails. And so of course that was when I was trying to get in order to find out who the winners were in order to make contact and everything. We have 12 scholarship winners. One thing that we will want to kind of take note of for next year is that for Why Not You, we are going to really have to put the 3.0 in the prompt itself, because we're getting overachieving 4.24 and 4.0 students that are applying as under B. So we did have one, but thankfully we still have one. But I have been able to reach out to all 12 winners. We're going to look at the press release in a moment, which has all the students in it. We have 3 schools essentially locally, and I was able to find a point person at each school, ACE, social justice, and at Vaughn. So Commissioner Moore, thank you for being the Vaughn point person. I have found this is the magic trick, because if there's someone at the school that's pushing from one side and I'm emailing from the other, information flows. So we've reached out to Julie Fernandez, our executive assistant to the city manager, and she will be making the social media videos again. So as of right now, I have 11 out of 12 photos, photo releases, and all the information. We are so far ahead of where we were last year.
It's amazing. Yeah, jaw drop, like literally. I don't know if you saw that.
We are so far. I was panicked a week ago because I couldn't get into my email and I didn't think that we could even get this way, but because of great point people and some very eager winners, we are at a really good place. We can get started on everything else. I wrote the press release. I can copy edit it for a living, but the one thing that if you know anything about copy editing and proofreading, you absolutely cannot proofread yourself. So I made some comments. Julia, can you share your screen for where we're at?
I can.
I caught a couple of mistakes as Julia transferred it from my format to her format. But as we go through, this will be how we magically catch all the winners. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
There, do you see that?
I see it. It's beautiful.
All right.
All
Okay,
right.
so if you want to go ahead and I have this in track changes. So if we make any changes, we'll be able to track it.
Okay. All right. If you guys have had a chance to read it, or as you're reading along, if you see any typos, I would prefer not to try to read the whole thing out loud because I will get very tongue-tied. I can read it out loud if we have anybody that's more audio to hear the mistakes. I don't think there's many. I really did proof it, but Republic is $1,000, and there is Regina, who is a Vaughn. As we go through these, she's the only one at this point that doesn't know where she's going yet. She's still deciding, so we don't have a school yet. As we're going through these, I'm waiting for some more draws to drop, but as we go, we've got a really awesome set of winners this year. What I don't know how to do, and I will be honest, I don't know how to use the Spanish accent marks on letters. So if anybody sees a name that should have an accent mark, please holler. Gabriel is 500, but the other 2 winners are 250 for Gabriel. So there's 2 different amounts.
Can we clarify that?
Sorry, Gabriel's all 250. Gabriel's all 250. So see, there we go.
Ah.
There we go. So we have an ace, and there's Marco again. So those are our Gabriels, Brianna, Angelina, and Marco. And the pictures, some of them sent, are beyond adorable.
Commissioner, just a note, like you said about the ñ, Villaseñor takes a ñ over the.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This individual, Commissioner?
Yeah. Do you know how to make it? You know, to do the letter?
Yeah, hold on a second. My keyboard's.
Told I usually copy paste it from the internet.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Huh? Okay, there.
Commissioner, yeah, Commissioner Moore cuts and pastes it from the internet and then sticks it in the document. I'll remember that because I could not figure. I know my kids probably could have told me, but they're not here. So Brianna Villaseñor, Academy of Scientific Exploration, Santa Barbara. She's got University of California, Santa Barbara. Angelina Duran is ACE to attend Stanford, mechanical engineering. Marco is Humanitas. Okay, Gabriel. Some of this was cut and paste from previous years. So, and we've got it down as Mayor Ballin. So that's good. Yeah, that's Elias is 500 for the first student, and the other two are 250.
How should we?
So there's one 500 and okay.
You want to put the 500 above Mahika and then the 250 as an underline. Does that make sense?
Above her name?
Yeah, 500 there. And then go to the end of Mahika. Yeah, and then put 250 there. And then bold it. And then just take it out of the name. I mean, out of the top line.
I wonder if I
Yeah.
should do that.
Yeah, and then just take and then take the 500 out where it says Elias Rodriguez Scholarship.
There is also a comma that needs changing in that.
Yes,
The Elias Rodriguez Memorial Scholarship honors the memory of Elias Rodriguez.
right. That needs to come out. And then the word "and" needs to come.
Well, and then there should be a comma after his name, though. Honors the memory of Elias Rodriguez, comma, Academy for, yeah.
And an Academy for Scientific. We've got. All right, and for the other universities of California, are we doing comma before name? Yeah, we have University of California, San Diego farther down. So it's University of California, comma, San Diego. Perfect.
And should we just spell out Cal State Los Angeles or?
That would be
Or
a
is it-
good idea.
I think
Yeah.
so. Usually I know when they, because it's a press release. A lot of times
California
they-
State, yeah. You can even do CSU Los Angeles, but if we're going to spell it out, we can spell it all out. And Julia types way faster than me because that was just like, there was flow to that.
Did you want a comma after the university as well?
I think so, because when we get to Northridge, I think there's a comma there.
Yeah.
I can double check in there, but I think that.
So Angel, after the comma on the first line of second Elias Rodriguez, you wanted a AN, right? And Elias.
Yes,
Academy.
thank you. Thank you. An Academy, or yes. And the Paola Scholarship. Jasmine is at University California, Davis. She is a San Fernando High School graduate. But since she's a junior, we'll give, do we want to put that she's from San Fernando High School, or we just want to say she's at Davis?
Just the Davis, I think is fine.
Okay, that's fine.
And also there's a grammar error. The memorial scholarship is awarded, not are, it's a singular.
Because it, right, because
So for following scholarship, change are to is.
yes, because there's only one winner in the where the little blue, yeah, the blue underline, the little blue Are awarded
This one?
should be, yep, should be is. And then it goes away. I love that. The scholarship is funded by David. Oh, and you don't need a comma after David. That's what that. Okay. So Edgar is social justice to attend University California, San Diego, structural engineering. Like I said, a whole bunch of very, very, very smart children, way smarter than I am. Lots of math, lots of science. The Barack Obama Si Se Puede scholarship is awarded to first generation students too.
Just so proud of these local kids, man. Just to see future's looking bright. We're on the front end.
Right. We were worried about them writing about pandemic silver linings. I think the silver lining is that we're going to have an awesome celebration that we're going to get to meet these kids and say, hey, we met them.
Yeah.
All right. So San Fernando future entrepreneurs. So that'll be California State University, Common Northridge.
Yeah.
He's studying computer science. For young entrepreneurs who aim to city and civic leaders. Okay. And unheard voices. If we don't have any other. Karen is going to attend Davis. Oh, yeah, did we change that? She's in Irvine. Remember?
I can change it right now.
Yeah, she's Irvine.
Okay.
I will double check at the end of the meeting, but that's the one that I said we needed to change. This is why it's very helpful to going back and forth with all of the social media releases and the information. All right. And environmental sustainability. This is Melanie Madrigal. You guys probably remember her essay because she's studying environmental toxicology.
Mm.
And if that wasn't awesome enough, I was talking to Commissioner Moore before, trying to make sure we had all the releases in, and she is a junior and she graduated last year from Vaughn. So that's a lot of AP credits.
Yeah,
that's a lot
sure.
of college. That's fantastic.
Wow.
A lot at Mission College. She's a really great kid. I was really had my fingers crossed that she would win last year. She was in my advisory for all 4 years of high school. And I didn't even know that she had reapplied this year, actually, which she totally is eligible, not for Republic because she wasn't a senior this year, but she did an internship with, I think, Los Angeles County when she was in high school and got a certificate of recognition for environmental research when she was a sophomore in high school. And then she became a climate change activist and was not ever missing class when they were doing those Friday things, but would literally leave school and head down to downtown LA as soon as school got out every Friday and spoke at rallies and things like that. She is a really cool kid. So I'm really grateful that.
Fantastic. And I did flag that we needed to come up with the comment for environmental sustainability as a word to a student. I emailed it and now I can't get to it because we're doing screen thing.
Email it to us. We can if you press escape, we can see the.
Oh, I can do that. All right, hold on. Let me see what I did. That's the press right now. Okay, I can't find it. Of course I can't find it. Let me try city email. That's not even gonna be open either. Let's try.
I can unshare my screen for a bit. And did you?
I know
emailed it?
I did email you. Let me see if it's in this one. Okay. My suggestion was, and we can definitely edit this, is the Environmental Sustainability Scholarship is awarded to the student who relates how their chosen major will help address an environmental concern. I am not married to that, but I pulled that from the actual prompt. So somebody else, we start with that, and then we can wordsmith it. Could address an environmental concern.
Good and good. Or
Could or can, either one. Could, would, shall, will.
okay.
And then address an environmental concern. And then we can word shop it if somebody wants to offer some strong.
Wait, you want and here?
No, instead of the, it's
Yeah, right there.
AN.
Yes. And then the can come out.
I think the two shouldn't be there.
Correct. Who relates how their chosen major. So two can be removed.
Seems clear to me. I mean, you can always
Okay,
set it
and-
up and talk about environmental issues, but I think that's
Right. I don't want
necessary.
to, I don't be too redundant. So I think
Yeah.
that's. And then a brief drive-through in-person event to honor and celebrate the recipients will be held in May. I don't want to put a date on there because I don't want random people just showing up.
Smart.
So, I mean, we want the people that we invite to come. We want the people that need to be there, but it's not something that we can just have, random people. We'll get into that next. Then the rest of this is all boilerplate from previous years. So if you're seeing anything that mistakes already been published, we can fix it. We don't have to be looking for typos, but if you see something that's glaringly should not have gone out in the past.
Looks good to me.
We have a press release.
Let's do it.
Well, at the beginning, I was have a little bit of a question at the very big safety, right there, where it says the goal of increasing student achievement and safety, instead of maybe higher education or
That's not the
I didn't get the
same.
safety. I don't know.
That sounds good too.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a press release.
Cool.
Okay, so this is final. The date of the press release is for May 1st.
You can, and you
So-
can change it to whenever. Last year was like May 15th. So I just took the 5 out. But it can be any date. And you can send it whenever you choose.
Okay, May 1st sounds good if that is a work day.
That's a good day.
Saturday. Okay, so I'll send it on May 3rd.
Yeah, Friday's the 30th. So
Whoops. Okay. All right, we're done with this.
all right, awesome. It can go on city website. if you send us copies, we can make sure we pass it out through our channels and we can have a thing. That's one thing done. Now we have to actually talk about a celebration.
Do it. Have fun. Event planning, huh?
Event planning.
What?
At least
it's been a while, guys.
I know. We were the first thing to fall, and we will be the first thing back.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. For right now, Julia, you want to go over your beautiful artwork?
I was just going to bring it up to share. So here, let me find it. Okay. Does everyone see the map?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome work.
And I appreciate you used my car as the sample, because that's my little red car right there.
So, of course, I will coordinate with city staff to make sure that no one parks there or is not there when we start. Did we decide on a start time of this ceremony?
That's what we need to do right now. My suggestion is going to be that we start at 6. We essentially have 3 groups that we can move through. The three groups would be ACE, Social Justice Humanitas, and Vaughn. There's 12 winners. There's 4 from ACE. There's 4 from Social Justice. There is 3 winners from Vaughn and the student from San Fernando High School that if we put with Vaughn would be pods of 4, 4, and 4. If this is okay with COVID compliance with the city, we could say ACE is from 6 to 6:30. Social Justice was from 6:30 to 7, and then Vaughn was 7 to 7:30. We can adjust the time slightly, but what I was thinking is we can work with the schools. They can bring any banners from their specific schools that they wish to bring. We can have, and again, this is where we need to make sure that we're 100% on with the city manager regarding how many people are able to be at the actual event at a given time. Because if we have a carload for each student, and then say a principal or a school official, the next question is, are we able to invite a board member? Are we able to invite, generally, council members have been there since council members have donated. We need to be very specific on who we can invite. I like the certificate and the check. That would be one table. The gift bag would be another table. And then the photo op may not necessarily be a table. I even envision if that runs up the stairs, they can run up the stairs and then run down the stairs if we have something in that alcove. Also, that way the sun's not on them, because
we spoke about that, and we wanted to limit the potential liability of going up and down the stairs with perhaps more than 1, 2, 3 persons at a time. I'm outside. I went outside to look at this spot right here.
And there's a little bit of space there too.
Yes, there's a little island here with some actually nice trees. So Julie and I talked about our own banners to celebrate each student. She has this great creative idea. So this is really where we would like to have it. Outside of that, there's the election box right here. And that's it.
Are we allowed to use that as a prop? Are we allowed to hang things from it as long as we take things off since it's not during the election? Or is that, is that like a post box you're not supposed to touch?
You're not supposed to touch.
Okay, that's what I figured. So we'll just point everything in a different direction, towards the tree or towards the building. We could even put up,
So if people are here, I'm sorry, if the trees are here and we can get people to line up right or gather, social distance gathering right here in front of the trees, I think that's actually a beautiful picture.
Okay.
Right there. But if you have any other ideas, this is an alley, so that won't work.
Yeah, no, I like the flow. I like the idea of having everybody come in and out, and I anticipate, are we going to be allowing the parents to park the car so they can get out and take pictures with their student, with the principal? Or are we just going to pull them up in a queue and then let them in and out?
I would pull them up in a queue. At this
Okay.
point, we're not allowing parking and coming out of the cars, because then there would be too much for staff to have to monitor. And then there's traffic safety, and because other people.
So the family members cannot get out of the car?
Can they follow the student? I'm
assuming, okay, the regulations are coming down.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to be safe to be outside.
And it's
I think
household.
it's going to be a household. And if the household is standing on one side and the principal or school official is standing on the other side, if we have to put little markers on the ground so we can strategically make it look like an album cover with staggered people every 6 feet going into a infinity perspective, however it works. The reason we're not doing food is because we didn't want it to feel so restrictive. But if we tell the family they have to stay in the car, I'm concerned that we're going to be back to the same thing, that if we're handing them their items and then saying that the student can take a picture, but the family can't. I also worry that they're going to get in the car and go around the corner and then kind of try to walk back.
That would be a clarification that I would need to get from Public Works.
And also, we just had a drive-by for Culmination of 8-week program here at my house on the weekend. And so it's sponsored by Cesar. And so there are protocols. And one of them is when they get off the car, they do have to have their masks on.
Mm-hmm.
When they take your picture, if they're only standing with their family, then they can take their mask off.
Okay.
But if there are people from other households, then they can't take their mask off. So I think that we have to think about, what is it that we want that picture to look like? And, I think it's great if the school people come, but it just adds a layer of
it adds a lot of labor or staff time to try and coordinate all these different people from different agencies to have that photo op. So I don't know if.
And the thing is, it's different households because the policy clearly says households. It's not about a person. It's about distinguishing what household you're from. So I don't know. I mean, Julia, I'm sure you're gonna get more guidance on this.
Yes, I will. I will come back with information on how their family members are going to get out of their car, where they're going to park. Because I think initially when we spoke, the entire family would be in one car, the student, the mother, and the father. But obviously there are, you know, different situations for each family. So I'll get that information and come back with a specific social distancing requirements
Okay,
that may or may not hinder what we're trying to do here. I don't think so, but I will come back with that information. And we may have to have a special meeting if that's the case.
right. I fully anticipate we're gonna need one more meeting. It's very common before the actual event. We have at least one more meeting just to make sure that we're all on the same page and tie up the loose ends. At last meeting, Olivia and I are the event ad hoc, for lack of a better, I don't want to say the party ad hoc. But, we were anticipating doing the grab bag. The gift bag is going to be a college survival pack. And I've got a great list of items. I've polled some college students, and aside from snacks could not be more overemphasized how important snacks are for a college survival pack. Also, some fun, dumb little toys like Play-Doh. So we are going to put Play-Doh in there because it was very much impressed upon me that it's a great stress reliever. So we will put little Play-Dohs in there. Julia, we will have to find out in the past when items were purchased that were going to go towards our events, the city credit card was used. The problem is going to be that the city credit card means you have to do the shopping.
Oh, my favorite.
Well,
It actually is. I love, for instance, the dollar store.
Okay, that's kind of, and if one of us needs to go, or if two of us, if we turn it into a 3-person, the ad hoc and in you, that's fine. I would be happy to go buy things at the store. I know Olivia would, but if we cannot be reimbursed, then we kind of have to go back to the plan of using the credit card. So,
we can work.
Right. I know that that's one thing that we have to touch base on. But yeah, it's mostly going to be dollar store stuff. But I was also going to ask if we could reach out within the city and see if there's any departments that have any items, notebooks, you know, supplies with, you know, things on it, with the city logo on it. We could also reach out to some of our local either businesses or some of our elected officials to see if they have any items that have, you know, the promotional items with stuff on it. I'm willing to do that. Olivia, do you have bandwidth to do that right now? Or are you very busy with, I know you're always busy with commission.
Yeah, right. And I actually, I'm on the board of alumni for Cal State Northridge. And so I may be able to get something to put into the bag from Cal State Northridge.
And see, that would be cute too. The idea is there's some school supplies in it, there's some fun stuff in there, and it's just a bag for them to go through. If we can even find the bags, anything we can find, then that's something that we can spend more money on the guts of the bags. The one thing I wanted to focus on for tonight with our commission meeting is how much we want to try to keep each bag under. Obviously free is always better. And if we can get free is awesome. Does anybody have any kind of idea of how much our current budget, the current amount that's left in our account, is that $7.99, Julia? Hold on.
Yes. Not $7.99.
Yeah. No. Let's
just say 700.
Okay, so I'm thinking like $25 a bag. That's what, $400? Because I don't do math. It's $300, right? 12 bags.
Yeah.
Does that seem too much?
I know last year we did cupcakes, just because we didn't have all these other events, but there's other costs associated with this, like, balloons and decorations and things like that we got to consider when looking at the total cost of this event. My gut's telling me just, probably I would say even less than 25, 20 or less. Just it's fun stuff, right? Play-Doh costs less than $1. Some
Right.
snacks
Some
is
school
$5,
supplies, some snacks.
$6, $7. So I think under 20 you probably can find a really
Okay.
cool bag included with that cost.
Right. I'm hoping that we can get the bags donated. That's one of the ones I think that's almost the easiest to get donated. I will reach out, but
Are you envisioning just, like the gift bags? Type of
either like the shopping bags that they give out as promos everywhere, or the drawstring backpacks, the little string backpacks. I know in the past the city has had them because we still have one around here for when Heritage Park, when it was still Heritage Park, when that opened up. I know they've existed in the past.
I can run out right now and get a couple of examples of what we have and how many of them we have. There is an example that I did want to bring to you. So
Okay.
I'm gonna just scoot out really quick.
Okay, while she scoots out, we did go in the closet and we were able to determine where the commission banner is. We know where that is. We have the little tripod stand that we can put a sign on, but we don't necessarily have the sign or a cardboard, like a cardboard sign, but we have the stand. We found the tablecloths from last year are still there. We will not be doing anything with the leftover cups, plates, napkins, and that stuff. That will just stay for another year. We're getting close, but not that close yet.
Angel, were we gonna have pop-up tents or?
I don't have a pop-up. So if anybody knows, we're gonna need at least 2 tables, like the Costco tables, whatever the little banquet tables that people have, and then we're gonna need at least 2 pop-ups, is my thinking. If we don't, then we have to kind of hope that the shade on that side of the parking lots, or that it's not a day that's over 100 degrees. So if anybody has access to a pop-up or knows anyone that has a pop-up, we may be asking around for.
Yeah, the city has, I believe, 2 or 3 pop-up tents.
Okay, then if we've got them, we just need to find them. All right, so do you want a drum roll, or are you just going to show us? Oh, look at bags.
That.
What is? It's too small to see because we're sharing screen. So what does it say?
Okay, and it says bewaterwise.com from MWD.
And how many do we have?
I want to say we might have more than 12.
That would be kind of a bonus.
That's one option. And then there's things in this, but just envision it empty.
Oh,
There's stuff in this. Hey, we've already got gifts. Wait, we gotta see what they are.
Just empty. But I believe we even purchased these at the dollar store.
yeah.
So, I mean, and it's a hardy basket.
Yeah.
They can take it in the shower if they have shower things, they share
that.
showers.
That's actually really cute too.
Yeah, I like that one. I've seen them also without the holes. They're
So everything's not exposed.
yeah.
Right.
Because yeah, or we stick one in the other. Either way. Does anybody have an opinion either way?
They're both good.
Yeah, I think if we can find the second, let's do the second. If not, it's nice to know we have the MWD bags. And we'll go
Oh,
with
I
that.
know I can find them. They have oodles of these baskets. I love it.
Yeah, I'm all for free. I'm all for, we can also touch base if we want to see if the credit union has any
Mhm.
tchotchkes that they would like to promote, because, oh, and before I forget, because I will, there is a letter that needs to go in with the checks to explain to the students how to cash their checks.
Yes, gotcha.
Okay, it's basically, you can go to your bank and cash it, or you can go to our bank, but the most important thing is you must cash the check within whatever the amount of days that it says on the check that the finance department tells them.
I'm still back on the basket.
Sorry, I know, I'm jumping around, but I know I will literally forget that, and then we'll be standing there handing out checks going, oh yeah, oh wait, you have to cash it. So with the basket.
I thought of even buying those little mini toothpaste and toothbrushes. Those little mini toothbrush things.
Right. Shampoo and conditioner. They have them everywhere.
Right, and there's hand lotion, fuzzy socks, anything that can be cooked in a microwave, whether it's the popcorn bags, or simple snacks like that, school supplies. But if we get like a notebook from somebody else, it's basically so they have something fun to dig around in, as well as the Play-Doh. I've already grabbed. I'm sorry, what?
Speaking of Play-Doh, it's a little bit more than $1, but there is snack scented Play-Doh. And it's kind of the coolest thing ever. And I just feel that the kids would love it.
Yeah.
It is, you can Google it. It's snack scented Play-Doh. It's, I think, $10 for a 3-pack of it. So we could give, one to each student. There's like chocolate chip cookies, buttered popcorn, and cakes. Look, there's also adult Play-Doh that I think is about the same price. That is overpriced latte scented, Bade scented. It's just really cool. Okay, it's a little more than $1, but it's so cool.
I will admit that I have sent many tiny little gifts to my daughter and had it delivered to the Amazon hub at her school. And apparently the one that all the kids come to her room to play with is the Play-Doh. She has tiny Tinker toys. She's built a Ferris wheel. She has all these really cool things, but the one they keep coming back for is the Play-Doh. And I think it's because it's literally, first of all, that smell, even if it's not the cool smell, the smell of Play-Doh will literally bring you back to being 5, and there's nothing wrong with being 5.
But now imagine if it smelled like buttercream frosting.
And that would, yeah. Oh, I'm not questioning that, because then it would literally be buttercream frosting.
Stress relieving ball. Well, it's not a ball. This is a turtle that I have.
Yeah, and we can figure out if there's anything. If we need to send a letter out to any of the department chairs or the heads of departments to ask if they have anything left over from any events that they have not had or that they had previously that are taking up space in a closet somewhere, we would be grateful for them. And then
Nick, if there's anything left from the census stuff, because I feel like we got a bunch of tchotchkes for the census stuff.
Right. I don't want to fill it with stuff they're never gonna use.
I agree. Yeah, let's keep it jovial and fun. Because I mean, we can go to the library and we can.
But if it's like Post-it notes, it doesn't matter what the Post-it notes are. The kids are going to use Post-it notes on all their books. If it's highlighters from the census, they're going to use highlighters.
Definitely not those kinds of valuable items we have for the census.
Okay.
Mainly pins.
Yeah, so probably, so maybe not that, but anything that.
I'll look.
Yeah, anything we can.
Like you count pens or something. It said something like everyone counts pen or something like that.
Okay. I'll look.
We'll find it.
And I trust your judgment to know when to splurge. If there's something that's really cool and unique, like cookie dough Play-Doh.
We're
Sometimes you
going to
gotta spend
have,
some money,
we're going
you
to
know?
have cookie dough play. I'm promising you right now, we're going to have cookie dough Play-Doh at the very first meeting in person that we will be, that will be our manipulative while we're having our meeting. Because I think we've all earned cookie dough Play-Doh after this year.
Oh, those microwave. They're
The little cakes.
yes.
Okay, I know.
Oh.
Okay, this is what's terrifying. She's got her hand like this, and I know what she's talking about.
It
It's
wasn't.
the little,
It's those cups, the cake cups, right?
yes.
Yeah, where you
Add
can bake
water and
cake in a
microwave.
microwave. Yes, that.
And I know I've seen those at either Big Lots or the 99-cent store. So it sounds like we're gonna have a field trip. Are you guys okay if it's Olivia and I, or if it's Julia and I, Olivia, Julia and I, or if it's just, okay. I don't want to add more to your, I will take pictures and send you pictures as we're getting stuff, just so you can see and make sure we got the right Play-Doh.
We trust you.
But it'll be good stuff. It'll be fun stuff. We want to celebrate them, but we also want to have them have some things. I will make sure that they have a list in there that will help them actually do their shopping over the summer, so that they know what to take to school. I know all the schools have those lists, but some of those lists are from some of the Bed Bath and Beyond types places. The stuff on their list, if you bought everything on that list because you thought you needed it, you'd need a mortgage. It's really not, it's not that difficult, but we can do that. The only other two things that I know we still have to take care of, and Julia, we're going to have to see if we can find the invites on the computer from like 2 years ago, because there were not invites last year. But we're going to have to figure out, we need to definitely figure out what we can do first and how many people are going to be allowed to come. And then, do we want to have a simple one-page program, or do we want to have the press release there so that the kids can see? We've always had a program, but there's not going to be a program. We're not going to have speakers. There's no discussion. Do we want to just have the press release in each bag so the kids have their name in print somewhere?
Well, we're going to be creating certificates. So this is
Right.
outside of, is this in addition to their certificate?
If we don't think we need a program, then I'm okay without a program. I come from a graphic design household, so everything has a program, but we don't have, I don't think this needs a program. We just need to make sure that we invite the students to the correct time so that they're here for their time, their allotted time, and then they move on.
Yeah, I don't see the need for a program.
Okay.
And the certificate's going to have what they're being awarded for, so that's kind of like why you're here. It's this thing.
And
I do have a question, Angel.
sure.
And I did discuss it with you, and that is colors as far as balloons and so forth. Should we just stick to the black and white and we're going to go get like the graduation hat, at the party store, they have those kinds of things to decorate. And so we would decorate can we decorate the pop-up tents a little bit with, yeah, okay. So is that, I had originally said to Angel that maybe we could use I don't know, I just said blue and white, but the more I think about it, that might be one of the colors of one of the schools. I don't know. But if we stick to black and white, and I think that we're safe, right? And that's.
And gold?
Yeah, I think if we did black, white, and gold, we should be safe.
Okay.
Cesar Chavez is black, white, and purple. And Vaughn is
Black and white.
Oh,
so we do black and white. We are in the right. We're in the right zone.
okay.
And if you want a little gold for accent, it's gold. It will be completely appropriate.
Maybe silver. We'll see.
Oh, silver, not just in silver.
Because I think I have silver little curly Q things that hang down, and so
Okay. So we have an idea of the event. We know what we still have to do. Is there anything else that I am forgetting?
Date and time. We make sure we have when it's going to be, and I don't think we solidified the time that it's starting. So just make sure to get that down.
Does 6 o'clock make sense? If it ends up being one of those days that we have that May day where it's 100 degrees, by 6 o'clock, it should be cooling off.
So you think May 20th, 6 o'clock?
And then we should be done, even with 3 groups, we can be done by 7:30. Does that make sense?
Well, in regards to the other 2 dates, May 24th and May 25th, the 24th, very likely City Council is going to have a budget special meeting. So that is not available. And the 25th is our Education Commission meeting. So May 20th was chosen.
The best, yeah.
As the best option.
Because the 25th will end up being our debrief while it's still all fresh in our heads.
What time did we get started with the banquet before? Wasn't it a little bit earlier?
I think it was around 6. And the reason is that giving parents time to get home from work,
You're right. You're right.
A lot of the parents work. So I'm pretty sure it was around 6. And then or 6 or 6:30. And then I remember
that's what we did. We said to be there by 6, and we really had no intention of starting before 6:30, but that's when we were gathering people. Then there was one year that they actually were all there, and we actually started the event on time, like earlier.
Yeah.
But because we're going to be timing and spacing everybody out, I think we could very easily tell each school, each group of recipients that this is their allotted time for their school for these 4 winners. And if somebody needs to switch, we can see if we can just kind of tack them on at the end. If somebody says, my dad and mom don't get home until 7 or something like that, we can try to tack them on at the end. Because I don't want to miss anybody. This isn't one that they can slip in late and us not notice. But I also don't want any of the kids not to come.
Can I share an observation as a parent or grandparent in this case in regards to the focus of when you were discussing, how are we going to do it? How are we going to have our parents there and the invited guests? So we had the honor roll student recognition at the high school, and my granddaughter, God bless her, was recognized. So I got to go as a grandparent. So what they did is it was a drive-by, and the family had their car, and we went along the curve. We drove along the curve when it was our turn. That she received her certificate. They handed it to her in the car. Then we went a little bit further, and then we received her gifts. Like the gifts that you were talking about. And then we went a little bit further in the car, and she was able to get off and take a picture by the banner. So I got off with her, I took the picture by the banner, and it was very exciting. And it's not, I know this type of an event is totally different from what you're used to with the previous events, but I'm hearing you saying, okay, this is what we've got to do. So there wasn't really the focus on the family getting off. It was more them receiving their certificate, the excitement of that. And then what was exciting is that we were able to take the picture. I was able to take a picture of her by the banner. So when you do the final plans as to what could be done, the family will be able to see the student from the car, and they will be able to take pictures from the car, and that might eliminate your any protocol problems that we might have in the design, but it worked well. So I just wanted you to hear what we experienced as a family in that manner.
Very, very much appreciated. This is already so much more exciting and so much more work than last year. On the other hand, it's so much more exciting. It's going to be worth the work. We get to see faces. As we're talking about this, Julia, that's the other, because if we're going to be there, and if we're eliminating, if we're not allowed to have principals there, are we going to be allowed to invite the council members? Because the council members or other families that have donated money that are the named scholarships.
That's one of the questions I need to
Okay.
clarify with city manager. Yeah.
Okay. And in the past, we have not always had 100% attendance of the council members, but for those who've donated, I'm sure they would, you know, and even if I would like to invite them, I very much want them to be part of this. But also the priority is obviously the student and celebrating the student. So that's, you know, I don't want to violate any COVID protocols, but I definitely want to make sure that we have, we send these kids off with one really nice little event before the schools figure out what they can do. So we have.
So I'm gonna go shopping now. I'll have to log off.
That's the most fun part. That is going to be the most fun part.
And to be honest, I'm so excited to see some of you guys again. How cool is that? I mean, we're, you know, of course, the CDC released the guidelines about being able to meet with other vaccinated people outside. And I think it just feels like things are normalizing a little bit. And this is one of those events that we've put our heart into and are so much love into, and to know that we're going to be able to manifest it in some capacity. Super exciting. So, yay.
So
right.
at the site, thinking of what Suzanne, I don't know when that event took place, and I know things have opened up more in the last month, you might even say. And I know every day things change, but we as commissioners, are there rules about how we are going to stand, who's handing what? You know, I think that we need to be clear that we are setting an example. And so we just need to be mindful of that. And when we get there, we need to assign people doing different things and standing appropriately, I think.
So what time are we all arriving? We should probably arrive early. Have we determined that yet? I don't think so.
Right.
We should probably set up our special meeting, I think, because this is, we're still finding out information from staff with the guidelines changing. So I think maybe if we spend the time finding when we're going to meet next, that next meeting, now that we have big picture stuff, we can get more into the.
As we start putting it all together and we're, oh, what about this? What about that? Because I can also offer a volunteer that's fully vaccinated who would be very happy to man either table or help with directions and pointing. So
I know Julie will be there for the photography. She will be taking pictures for the city.
So that's one less thing. That's one thing we don't have to assign, because that's always been the hard one, is to find the person to take the pictures.
Oh, she's going to be happily there to take the pictures. Just for additional information, addressing who's going to give the gift basket or how are we going to hand those out. So Julie and I discussed those tables being set up, and while each family comes, we would set their certificate and check right there for them to pick up, because they don't really need to talk to anyone there. It's really the end booth that they're probably going to want to take the picture. They have the certificate, they have their check. They're going to have individualized recognition banner things that Julie is going to take care of for me. So, so as far as them, the student or us handing, or one of you commissioners, they're handing them their awards, we just set it right there at that table and they just take it. So that's just one option that you can think of or think about.
My only concern is we're probably going to want to make sure there is somebody at the table with the checks, because if we don't plan for that, it will either be Santa Ana wins, or that'll be the day somebody walks by and then suddenly three of the envelopes are missing and we didn't even realize it. So I having somebody there, but not exchanging, not necessarily touching, and that person, whether that person keeps a mask on. Like I said, I've got one that's in my household that's vaccinated, will be vaccinated the same time as I am. So she has volunteered to sit at a table and do absolutely nothing but keep an eye on things. So I'm very happy to put her to work. You guys get to put her to work the week after that. But for now, I would be very happy to have her. She's very relieved she doesn't have to play violin. Let's just put it that way.
So Julia, after you find out what the protocol is for all of us, and because if we're not going to be at the tables, then where are we going to be as commissioners? Where are we going to be?
Well, you will be around the tables.
Okay.
You'll be standing there and congratulating the student, of course, but you don't necessarily have to be handing the gifts over. They'll be set up for them to just pick up.
Pick up. Right.
Right.
Should
So
also
there won't be, no one will be sitting at the tables.
If you wish to sit after a period of time, because this is going to be an hour and a half, as long as we're 6 foot, social distancing, I think that would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we do want somebody at the table with the checks, just because if we turn our backs on it, I mean, that's the bags less so, because we can put out 4 at a time in between the times, but the checks, like I said, with our luck, if we,
that'll be covered. You have no worries about it.
We can worry about it at the next meeting, but I do know that we probably want to have some kind of amplified sound, but I don't mean like amplified sound, but like a microphone so that we can announce who's there. Or are we going to keep it completely just, they pick up their stuff, they walk to the end, and we don't announce who they are?
Well, and then music would be nice. I mean,
Yeah, I think we should have the mic and the, Bluetooth speaker that we've used before. I think
So
it adds both as entertainment as
DJ
well as
David
logistic.
Govea.
It's who it is, right?
we had music with a drive-by on the weekend this weekend, and it just adds a little
bit more. If we're good with that, then I would very much like to have something just so that it seems a little more festive. We're not going to have any speeches. We're not going to be talking, but if there's some way that when this child pulls up and they say who they are, we can then say, okay, so-and-so's here from this school, and we can all hoot and holler. We're standing around waiting for something to do. When we hear this is the student that's going to Cal Lutheran University, we can all stand up and applaud because we know that that's who that student is. Right. So
I think it really, all of this is dependent on if other people are allowed to come to the ceremony.
Okay. Then if that's the case, we probably should just at this point determine what day the next meeting should be, and then we can hold off on speculation.
Okay.
Calendars. Does anybody have any specific dates that work for them or do not work for them?
I think May 10th or 11th, probably just the timing,
May 10th is a Monday. I'm still in class on May 10th.
Close. You don't think that's cutting it too close?
I think it gives us time to figure it. It's basically gives us a week to figure out guidance from county and from staff. So we have this week and then the next week. It's coming up. The 20th is pretty close, right? We only have a few weeks till then. So I don't know. That seems like a good date to me. The 11th work for you guys?
The 11th works for me.
Okay.
May 11th?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will have a special meeting called for May 11th. And at the same time, 6 o'clock?
I think that works for me. Does that work for everybody else?
Yes.
I'm open to earlier if you guys ever just.
Does anybody?
6 o'clock's work. I can do 5. I can do 4.
Nicole?
I'm fine with any time after 3. So
If you guys want to do it sooner so that it doesn't bleed into evening time, that's fine too.
I'm fine.
Olivia,
I'm fine.
would you like 4 or 5?
Earlier is fine.
4?
Yeah, 4.
Okay, Julia,
Okay.
let's do May 11th at 4.
Have Julia
right.
actually get to eat dinner.
Yes, I can go home and in the light, maybe in the daylight.
We're trying. It's still light, although, yeah, it looks like it's still light outside. All right, is there anything else that's pressing right now that cannot wait until May 11th at 4 p.m.?
We're good.
All right, then let's put that one to bed for now till the 11th, and then, and I managed to lose a page. I know I did. It's general commissioner comment. Does anybody have any?
I do.
Olivia.
I just want to bring this to your attention on March 31st. The Cesar Chavez Commemorative Committee had the unveiling of a plaque at our Cesar Chavez monument memorial. And it sits on the pedestal of the statue of Cesar Chavez. So up to this point, there was not a plaque in the whole monument area. And so we had a maybe 40-minute program, very nice program. And Vice Mayor Mary Mendoza was there because Mayor Bellin was out of town. So she represented the city and spoke very nice. And so she did a really good job. And we had, about 15 to 20 people, but whatever, we had permission to meet there. There was music, it was very festive. And actually the whole ceremony is available for you to watch on Facebook. And so you just need to go to Facebook and search the Cesar Chavez Commemorative Committee. And so there is a video that you can see and be proud.
Awesome.
The collaboration
Awesome.
between the Cesar Chavez Commemorative Committee and the city of San Fernando. And by the way, I think it's the largest monument to Cesar Chavez in the nation. And so that was brought up. And also what was brought up was that the city of San Fernando was the first also to make the Cesar Chavez Day holiday. So we were vanguards or leaders in doing those things. So we should be proud.
Very cool.
Cool. Anybody else? Nicole.
I wanted to comment on what Eduardo Solorzano had presented on this evening about the low numbers of secondary students based on the model of it. Today was my day 2 back in that model. Vaughn chose to do only small cohorts to begin with in that model because of what they were talking about, that many people are preferring not to do it. And it's the hardest thing I've done in my entire career. So give some love to your secondary teachers. My daughter is back also at Vaughn, and they're in the afternoon, and they're off Zoom in the afternoon. Because she's in elementary, they've split it morning and afternoon, just like what Mr. Solorzano was talking about. But yeah, the whole Zoom in a room is like I'm teaching 40 kids because I have my kids online and my kids in my room with 6 different co-teachers in 6 different subjects. And it is mentally the most taxing thing I've done. So.
Thank you.
God bless you, Ms.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I was saying it more just so y'all kind of get a perspective of this is how it's going. You just kind of have to be in all of your online kids' heads and all of your in-person kids' heads all at once, and then communicating with all of their teachers. so that you kind of know what's going on, and then hitting print on things that you know that they would do better with in person, and running around while staying 6 feet distance and trying to see their computer while they angle it away from you, because you know we can't like do what we would normally do is lean over and you know things like that. So it's a lot of getting used to, but gosh, it's so good to be back. But here's hoping that our numbers stay low and we get people lots of vaccinated, and that the 12 and up vaccination is supposed to be available pretty soon, and that our secondary kids will hopefully get it and we can get back to normal, because this is really hard. So those are my commissioner comments.
And we appreciate you. We really appreciate you guys that are in the trenches. I know we've made sure we talk about the kids, but we also appreciate what you guys are trying to do, because we know it's not easy. So hang in there, and we will hope that people do get their shots, and then you guys can be more normal by fall. Any other comments? All right, staff communication.
Yes, commissioners, let's see. Tomorrow is Denim Day. I'm not sure if you received the email from the city manager. Denim Day is bringing awareness to sexual assault crimes, and I'm wearing my denim. I'm going to wear jeans, possibly a jean jacket. So I encourage everyone to wear denim along with me. May 17th may be a very exciting day for me. The person to fill that spot is potentially starting on that date. So I'm very happy. And let's see, I don't have other information. The city's currently working on the entire general budget, and I've put in for a little bit more for the Education Commission. And we'll see if that gets approved.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for being
yeah.
here.
Yep, that should do it. For me.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Now everybody's favorite time for the meeting. Have a motion to adjourn.
I would like to put a motion forward to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
All right.
All right. Commissioner Llamas,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Robledo,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gobea,
Yes.
Chair Zobel Rodriguez.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you.